The night was quiet, but inside Shen Wenlang's heart, a storm raged. For the first time in his life, the man who is always calm, always in control, was driven to desperation. And at the center of this unraveling was an Omega he could neither hold on to nor let go of. It started with a clash at the door. "Haven't you heard him enough?" The voice was sharp, slicing through the air like glass. Gao Tu, the alpha girl who looked so much like her older brother, stood firmly before Shen Wenlang, blocking his way. Her expression was fierce, her posture defiant. "If you dare to come again, I'll call the police," she warned coldly. "My brother already has someone. He doesn't need you. He doesn't want to see you anymore." The words struck Shen Wenlang like a blow to the chest. Already had someone? Already with a new alpha? Impossible. How could Gao Tu belong to anyone else? When he still carried his child? No Omega would ever choose to endure pregnancy unless it was for love. Shen Wenlang knew this. As long as the baby grew inside him, Gao Tu should need him. An Omega in pregnancy was fragile, vulnerable, in desperate need of the soothing pheromones that only an alpha could provide. Logically, Gao Tu should crave his presence. "Did you tell him I came?" Shen Wenlang's voice was low, dangerous, each syllable trembling with suppressed fury. "I told him," Gao Tu shot back, her eyes burning with a determination that refused to yield. "And it's because he knows that you'll never find him." Her words hit like knives, leaving wounds he could not close. She was nothing like her brother. She was sharp, unyielding, merciless. And Shen Wenlang, for all his power, could do nothing. He had seen with his own eyes that Gao Tu was not inside. He had no proof to fight back, no way to force the door open. All he could do was mutter in disbelief. "Impossible," before turning and leaving in defeat. But that was not the end. Defeat only fueled his obsession. By the very next night, he returned, unable to stop himself. Shang Xiaoyu once mocked him for this endless cycle, calling it a chain reaction of madness. And maybe he was right, because Shen Wenlang had never understood before what it meant to want someone so much that the pain consumed you. What it meant to ache, to suffer, simply because the one you longed for was out of reach. Now he understood. Now he was the one drowning in it. Mate-seeking syndrome. That was what it was called. And it was eating him alive. Meanwhile, Gao Tu was quietly moved away. After leaving the hospital, he stayed briefly in a temporary residence. But Maheng, his childhood friend and protector, wasted no time once he realized Shen Wenlang had discovered them. Gao Tu, still weak and bound to a wheelchair, was whisked away to a new hiding place. Day by day, with medical care and pheromone treatments, Gao Tu's condition improved. After 2 weeks of treatment, his disorder stabilized. The gland blockers were removed. He was still fragile, still unable to fully control the sage-like scent of his pheromones, but he was safe, or so he thought. Because even then, Shen Wenlang found traces of him. The day Shen Wenlang arrived at Gao Tu's home, the faint fragrance of sage clung to the air. Gao Tu had just changed his inhibitor patch, but it wasn't enough to mask the truth. The smell betrayed him. Shen Wenlang inhaled it like proof, his chest tightening with both joy and fury. Gao Tu had been there. His presence lingered. Yet Gao Tu denied it again and again. And Shen Wenlang, with no evidence to break her lies, was once more forced to leave. That night, back in the comfort of his car, he trembled. His body was warm, his skin hot to the touch. By evening, his temperature spiked. It wasn't illness. It was something far worse. The susceptibility period had begun. Alone in his vast house, Shen Wenlang fought the fire consuming him. He scrolled endlessly through his phone, seeking anything that could ease the ache. And then he found it. A video, saved years ago. Carried with him through every phone upgrade, every change. He never let it go. He pressed play. "Boss Shen, is this the one?" Gao Tu's voice, calm, obedient, filled the room. On the screen, Gao Tu stood in Shen Wenlang's cloakroom, holding a familiar set of pajamas. The light was dim, the room warm with yellow tones. And there he was, gentle eyes behind glasses, soft brows furrowed with confusion. He looked so harmless, so pure, like a rabbit that had wandered unknowingly into a wolf's den. Shen Wenlang's chest tightened. He couldn't even remember why he had asked Gao Tu to fetch those clothes. But the image remained etched in his memory. The Omega, standing there in his most private space, looked so natural, so right. It was as if he belonged there. Every time Shen Wenlang watched the video, he felt a strange peace, a sense of harmony, a quiet, almost domestic warmth. And that night, he played it again. Not once, not twice, but over and over. 100 times. But peace was fleeting. Instead, memories came flooding back. The night of the party, when desire had overpowered him. Gao Tu beneath him, trembling, fragile, lips parted but words barely escaping. His small whimpers had been soft, helpless, like a rabbit cornered by a wolf. The memory ignited him, setting fire to his blood. Shen Wenlang gripped his phone, his thoughts spiraling. Gao Tu's pregnancy, Gao Qing's cruel words, the mysterious alpha who now stayed by Gao Tu's side. Why should anyone else soothe him? Why should anyone else protect him? That was his right, his duty. This was his child, his Omega. No one else had the right to touch what belonged to him. Anger flared, mingling with desperate longing. His chest burned, his mind spun, his body ached with need. He could no longer tell where fury ended and desire began. All he knew was that he wanted Gao Tu back. He wanted the scent of sage clinging to his skin. He wanted to press his lips against his hair, his neck, to breathe him in. He wanted to hear his voice again. "Mr. Shen, please be gentle." Those words echoed in his mind, tearing apart the last fragments of his control. The thought of Gao Tu calling out his name, trembling, fragile, begging, it consumed him. Shen Wenlang was no longer the composed alpha he once was. He was something else now. A wolf starved, obsessed, driven half-mad by the absence of the one Omega who mattered. And no matter how far Gao Tu ran, no matter how many doors barred him, no matter how many protectors stood guard, Shen Wenlang knew one thing. He would never stop. Because once an alpha has chosen his Omega, there is no escape. If this story gripped your heart, if Shen Wenlang's obsession and Gao Tu's fragile resistance left you breathless, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for more tragic, passionate stories from the ABO universe. Because love and desire can be the sweetest poison of all.